God, theater owners are going to kill me for this.
At the movies.
What goes on inside the movie theater once the lights are down?
It's like the Mile High Club.
Dry cleaners using this.
So that's what my clothes would be laundered in.
That's just so disgusting.
And nail salons.
She said, I have the perfect tool.
Using Brace Yourself.
We have video of a wood sander being used on people's feet here.
It's always ready when you need it.
Plus behind the scenes at the airport.
You should assume that this bag is going to be handled in the worst way.
Your luggage lost, found, stolen, and worse.
Here comes the really gross part, in the dirty panties.
So you found someone else's underwear in your bag?
Tonight they're spilling the beans and everything else. True confession.
Honestly, we were just trying to get your side of the story.
Here now, Elizabeth Vargas and David Muir.
Tonight, with the weekend finally here, we ask a simple question. Do you have any weekend plans, any errands to run? Tonight, before you go to the movie theater, the dry cleaners, the spa, some stunning true confessions from the people on the other side of the counter.
That's right, David. We are breaking out our spies and our spy cams to see what really goes on, starting with nail salons. What's the difference between one of those and a Home Depot? Well, it turns out not so much. After this, you'll look at power tools and mani-pedis in a completely different way. Here's Rena Ninan with the undercover video.
Right here on your right side.
These days, if you want to make a splash on the red carpet, you have to have your nails masterfully manicured. The glitzier, the better. Just ask Katy Perry and actress Zooey Deschanel. And just this week at the Oscars,
so this is called a manicam.
Lupita Nyong'o got almost as much praise for her polish as her performance. But before you try and bedazzle your fingers and toes,
It's really not about the glitter and the polish anymore.
listen to the warnings from this industry insider.
What do you think is the one thing that nail salons just don't want the consumer to know?
There is danger lurking everywhere. The potential for infection is greater than people realize.
Hi, Joan.
A salon owner and nail tech for 34 years, Athena Elliott rates other salons for her website. She says they aren't necessarily safe because too many salons take shortcuts.
It's a lucrative business. I mean, we're a $7.9 billion industry, and unfortunately, there's a lot of money to be made at your cost.
What have you seen?
Dirty tools, dirty tubs. That's the one where I really cringe a lot.
She cringes not only because it's gross, but because it's also potentially dangerous. Possibly living inside those Whirlpool tubs, fungus, E. coli, and other bacteria that can cause cuticle infections, finger herpes, staph, MRSA, and more.
So what do you look for when you...
Jennifer Schnipper of Palm Beach, Florida, where sunshine meets sandals, says this salon is clean. But at a different one, she had a frightening experience. One day, she developed a little blemish on the middle of her shin. Pretty soon, it wasn't so little.
I was in extreme pain, couldn't walk, it was hot to the touch, it was red, it was bumpy.
So she went to the doctor.
The first question she said to me was, how often do you get pedicures?
She knew right away.
She knew right away. And she said, I guarantee you this is a mycobacterium infection that you get from pedicure spa baths.
The bacteria had spread into her muscle. The only way to get rid of it was to literally cut it out of her leg with emergency surgery.
I mean, it's like a crater in the middle of your shin.
Yeah.
Jennifer sued the nail salon and received a $375,000 settlement.
What would you like to say to the owners of that salon?
It's their responsibility to keep us safe. And they took shortcuts at my expense.
You paid with your leg, literally.
Yeah.
But to find out the dirty truth for ourselves, 2020 used hidden cameras in glasses, purses, even a water bottle.
Okay, we're gonna go in right now with a hidden camera.
And went undercover at nail salons in New York and Houston to document any germ-spreading stunts. Like this. Check out this woman as she takes a cotton ball with nail polish remover, uses it on her own nails, and then the same one right on us.
That's how we can impart bacteria on people.
Watch as she grabs this old nail buffer. What looks like white chalk is probably someone else's dead skin. Without hesitating, she uses it on us. A major no-no. Those devices are one-time use only, according to state regulations. But is it really so bad that everything must be cleaned and disinfected? We swabbed and swabbed and swabbed all over the salon and sent it to the lab. In one foot bath, they found 28 million bacteria from feces. And on a pedicure towel, staph.
Staphylococcus aureus. If you have a break in the skin, that is one way the staph can get into there by using that towel.
But worst of all, we found salons using illegal instruments. Is that a nail tech or a ninja? Look at the way she's slicing and dicing those calluses with a razor, called a Credo blade, but it's banned in at least 45 states.
That type of thing is really meant for a doctor to use, not for a nail technician to use.
That semi-surgical tool can cause bleeding, yet we found it readily available in nail salons. That's nothing compared to what Athena has seen and experienced. She too goes undercover.
Probably gonna go have unprotected nail sex.
Complete with a wig and a special something extra.
These are spy glasses.
Here she is getting a pedicure when the employee busts out a home improvement tool to, well, improve the condition of her feet.
She said, I have the perfect tool.
That perfect tool, a Dremel.
The most compact, versatile, and empowering cordless tool system ever.
A rotary device meant to drill and sand wood.
Sand, drill, and so much more.
But definitely not someone's foot.
She pulled it out and said, don't worry, don't worry. You know, I can do this for you, and really basically freestyled on my feet.
What did you think when they pulled out that sander?
I was a little bit scared, actually. Then I started to think, wait a minute, that's the same pad that was used on the person before me and probably 20 people before me.
Ugh, that's just so disgusting.
Was that it? A one-time occurrence? Nope. When we visited that very salon a week later, we saw the staff going Tim Allen with that Dremel tool.
It's always ready when you need it.
We went inside for answers.
I'm Rita Nina with ABC's 2020. We have video of a wood sander being used on people's feet here. Why would they use that here? It's a violation of state regulations.
The owner wasn't at the salon. His employee, Kim, denied ever using the tool.
No, because I don't use this machine.
You're not even changing the disc, so whatever germs are on someone else's feet go on to the next person's potentially.
When we point out that the woman who was using the Dremel is right next to her,
it looks exactly like the woman there.
Kim changes her tone, saying customers like it.
They want to sand for take off their skin.
But you know this isn't an approved device. It's used for sanding wood, and you're putting it on people's feet.
If you tell if I can use that, I stop that.
You don't want to use it anymore?
No more.
While she says she did no wrong, Kim promises to stop using it. So how do state regulators deal with salon violations? We followed along with Joanna Yodi, an inspector with the Arizona State Board of Cosmetology.
Just here to do a routine inspection today.
Some, like this one, clean.
Okay, they look good.
Others, not so much.
This one's been used over and over again. It would have to be discarded. I'm seeing a lot of grime in here.
And the pedicure tub at this salon, downright nasty.
If the client came in contact with this, germs could be transferred if they have open pores that cut in the skin.
That salon had multiple violations, but the inspector doesn't have the authority to shut them down. This salon owner, who says he has since cleaned up his act, will probably get a $250 fine.
So many salons, they just get slapped on the wrist by our state. They get fined, and then, you know, they just start up again.
Athena wants everyone to know that there are also good nail salons out there too, and has a bit of advice. Don't be fooled by the sticker price.
Are you safer in a 5-star salon that charges 5 times the price?
Absolutely not. Dirty knows no prejudice. It's everywhere. And it doesn't matter if you're paying $50 for a manicure or you're paying $10 for a manicure. It's still lurking.
I'm rethinking my weekly manicure. Before you get your claws out, we've got some tips for you how to make sure your nail salon is safe. Go to our website for a list of warning signs and tweet us your spa stories at #ABC2020. David and I will be right back.
Next, dry cleaners. Certainly not dry and not always clean.
So that's what my clothes would be laundered in.
we're busting the myths on everything from club soda to cashmere. That's next. Once again, True Confessions. Here now, Rebecca Jarvis.
You hand the dry cleaners your most precious, your most irreplaceable garments. And what do you get back?
You shrunk it.
Not always what you thought. Annoyance at the dry cleaner is so common.
Crazy! You're a fool. I can't cope with this.
It shows up in TV and movies all the time.
I don't see my Yankee jersey.
It must be gone then. I'm sorry.
What?
Dry cleaners sometimes don't have the best reputation. That's
Jerry Posniak runs Jeeves, sort of the Rolls-Royce of New York City dry cleaning. But tonight, he's letting us in on the dirty little secrets of the industry.
Makes you angry.
It does make me angry.
Secret number 1. Scummy solvent. Let's face it, dry cleaning is a mystery for most of us. The key to the whole process, says Posniak, is this: the solvent. It's supposed to look like this, clear as a mountain stream. But the stream can turn to a swamp, according to Posniak.
It's kind of like if you were taking a bath and you had bath water and 5 other people took a bath before you, then you got into that water. Would you feel clean when you came out?
Posniak says some dry cleaners cut corners and increase profits by neglecting to filter the solvent enough. Eventually, this gunk is left behind.
So that's what my clothes would be laundered in, with dirty solvent.
Dirty solvent. This is the bottom residue of dirty solvent.
The industry insists this residue won't touch your clothes. But even so, if your dry cleaner isn't taking care of his solvent, your white dinner jacket could end up one of the 50 shades of gray. Secret number 2. No work for the jerk. Posniak says most customers are great, but if you act like a jerk complaining about how something came out, he's heard of places that will only pretend to re-clean the clothes.
At bad dry cleaners, yes, I've seen it. These problems do exist.
And secret number 3, your stains tell all. Some dry cleaners are keeping tabs on you and the embarrassing stains you bring in. Lipstick on a collar or whatever on a dress.
No one knows more than the dry cleaner.
It's cringeworthy. On TV.
I had nothing to do with that.
Sure, Larry. Whatever you say.
Or in real life.
Ever gossip about people, what they've brought in?
When I was working with my dad, we had a client who we had a nickname for. He was Mr. Condom, because every time we had a pair of clothes from him, we usually found a condom.
It's like, oh, this is so disgusting. I can't believe
Lydia Noon knows every secret and every secretion of the cleaning biz.
You know, there's the customer that always has like gross stains on their clothes every week. It makes you wonder, like, what are they doing?
Lydia works at 2020 today, handling other kinds of dirty laundry. But while she was in school, she made extra cash behind the counter at her local dry cleaner. So we decide she's perfect to do our dirty work, a kind of test of dry cleaners. Which dry cleaners? Lydia begins by loading this dryer with the names of over 1,000 located in New York.
And the winner is...
After a quick spin, she selects 10 places to check out. And what will be their challenge? That requires a visit to the Stain Master.
We have 10 identical pair of khaki slacks and 10 identical white shirts.
Meet Alan Spinvogel of the National Cleaners Association. Using yellow mustard, red wine, and blue nail polish like a day of dry cleaning, he paints equal stains on each garment.
There are difficult stains, and if they can remove these stains, they can probably remove any type of stain.
Impressive work, but we wanted to test the cleaners' honesty as well as their competence. So Lydia adds something extra, a $10 bill in each pants pocket. Posniak is not confident.
I've heard of places that it's finders keepers, out of one pocket and then in someone else's pocket.
What will be removed? The mustard spot, the wine spot, the nail polish spot, or the 10 spot? We're about to find out. Along with intern Haley Peck, Lydia loads up a car with those befouled shirts and khakis and heads off. The 10 cleaners are in Brooklyn, Queens, and Manhattan, from the high-price spots in the Silk Stocking District to a low-rent outfit near housing projects.
Do you think you can get nail polish out?
I don't know.
Lydia and Haley record the drop-offs.
Nail polish? Sure.
This will be ready by Monday.
It'll be a few days before we can see what comes out in the wash.
You really don't know.
So in the meantime, we dig more dirt with Deborah Kravitz. She runs Apthorpe Cleaners, a top-flight spot we aren't testing. She has a few more dry cleaning secrets you need to know, starting the moment you stain something.
What do you recommend people do? Is club soda the answer?
Club soda is definitely not the answer. If it was, we'd all fill up our cleaning machines with club soda.
Secret number 4, no club soda. She says club soda does nothing except possibly make the stain worse. Instead, gently dab the spot with a white napkin or do nothing at all.
True or false? Dry clean only means you have to dry clean it.
No.
That's right. Secret number 5, labels lie. For certain fabrics like cashmere sweaters, hand washing is just fine, as long as you don't put it in the dryer. But there's one more secret that gets us women hot under the collar. Secret number 6, the gender gap.
What did you think when you got the bill?
I thought it was a mistake. I mean, it just didn't make any sense.
Janet Palmer was hotter than a steam iron when she discovered the dry cleaner charged her more than her husband to clean shirts.
Exact same shirt.
Yes.
Different size.
Yes.
$2 more.
Yes.
Outraged, Palmer decided to call 50 dry cleaners in New York City. And while we can't say it's true everywhere, she found women on average paid 73% more.
73% more for what?
I have no idea.
What would happen if you put a women's shirt on there?
It just wouldn't fit.
Our experts tell us it's not sexist, it's economics. Women's shirts can't fit on a pressing machine and have to be hand ironed.
So this is why women pay more.
More labor equals more expensive. Maybe so, but Janet Palmer was so put off, she's boycotted dry cleaning for years. But not our Lydia. Our shirts fit on the presser, so no extra charge. But are they clean? And what about the $10 hidden in the pants? How many cleaners gave the cash back to us? Sad to report, but get this, out of 10 cleaners, just one. The other 9 charged us the sticky fingers tax. What's up with that? Now, the moment of truth with those stains. Lydia goes to VARTest, an independent lab where they perform scientific stain analysis.
Here are the shirts.
Overall, it's a mixed bag. The nail polish was the toughest. Only 3 out of 10 got that out, while 7 out of 10 were able to clean the wine stain. As for the mustard on the pants, only 6 out of 10 succeeded. But our biggest surprise, the cheaper spots did better than the fancier places with the supposed expertise.
You don't know what goes on behind closed doors.
Brevin and Posniak agree. Our test proves customers need to sample dry cleaners themselves.
You just can't pick a dry cleaners by the one that's closest in your neighborhood.
And stick with whoever wins.
Next, baggage handlers. You're in good hands. Well, not always.
They'll throw it, kick it, toss it.
And what they never tell you about check-in time. Confess your carousel calamities. Tweet us at #ABC2020. Coming next.
At the airport, as soon as you check in your bags, somebody else might be checking them out. The baggage handlers. Just today, 5 of them were arrested at JFK Airport in New York for using mail bags as grab bags, stealing from them. So what else goes on when that baggage carousel starts moving? Here's Deborah Roberts.
When traveling, Megan McCord wants what we all want, for her bags to arrive safely. So last October, the Atlanta jewelry designer thought nothing of packing $6,000 worth of baubles, then boarding a flight to New York City to meet clients. Were you nervous about the idea of checking your bag with jewelry in it?
I just sort of thought, it'll be okay. Can't carry all this stuff because it's heavy.
At the baggage carousel, anxiety.
Waiting, and then this bag never showed.
Megan was flabbergasted, but not this guy.
What is one of the biggest misconceptions that we have about how our bags are handled?
That we care.
For 13 years, William Henry has worked as a so-called rampy. In his book, The American-Made Baggage Handler, he unloads the secrets of his profession.
Well, you should assume that this bag is going to be handled in the worst way.
This rampy likes the pushover technique.
Now, I see a lot of these folks have been standing here for quite a while. What's going on back there?
There ain't no rush. As a deliver the bags to the plane, these bags can fall out of the cart onto the ground.
Turbulence on the tarmac, bags rolling down like tumbleweeds. In reality, though, more than 99% of checked luggage arrives unscathed. But last December alone, there were nearly 224,000 reports of mishandled bags in the U.S. That includes damage, delay, loss, and theft.
You have hundreds and hundreds of bags, and you kind of become numb to the process.
Tim Sigelski was a rampy for 2 years.
What was your most egregious mistake?
Our crew loaded the wrong bags in the wrong plane. The engines are going, flights are coming in at different times, so there's confusion, and things can go wrong.
That sounds as familiar as the fasten your seatbelt sign to globe-trotting lawyer Aaron Hurwitz, who always travels with this fire engine red duffel bag. Who'd misplaced this?
I don't know how you could get more bright than this.
Yet, like a jilted lover, he's been left standing at the carousel 4 times this past year, waiting for that bag.
It's just pure frustration. You just throw your hands up and say, great, here we go again.
And guess what, Aaron?
Pretty much a bag is a bag is a bag.
Think life is better in the front of the plane? Think again.
Is the first-class bag going to be handled a little better by the baggage handlers?
No. Just because we see that tag on that bag, that doesn't mean it's going to get any priority.
In fact, that first-class priority tag might even make your suitcase more attractive to a sticky-fingered handler.
How does a baggage handler look into a bag? Because I imagine there are cameras all around the airport.
They find places that are not monitored.
Like these guys caught red-handed on hidden cameras in the belly of a plane at JFK Airport. This one goes through a wallet and scores cash. This one snagged some new headphones.
As long as they got that bag in an area that's undisclosed, unmonitored, unsupervised, they can do what they want with that bag.
Megan knows that for sure. Her missing bag finally arrived to her Atlanta home 23 days later with an unwelcome surprise.
Let's put some gloves on.
Why the rubber gloves? Just wait and see.
Did you recognize any of these things?
Well, these are my jeans, and they're turned inside out.
So somebody had worn these?
Yeah. Then I find shoes 2 sizes too big.
So this isn't even your shoe?
No. And then here comes the really gross part, and the dirty panties.
So you found someone else's underwear in your bag?
Pre-worn underwear.
Okay.
And then comes the jewelry bag. So I open it up, and I was just devastated.
So they took all of your jewelry except for these pieces.
It felt violating.
It's almost like a flea market out there.
Former NYPD Detective Frank Shea says even your carry-on's not guaranteed a safe landing if it gets hijacked as you head down the jetway.
And that's where most of the thefts are occurring, from the boarding gate to the belly of the plane. If one of the ground personnel says your carry-on luggage has to go underneath because the luggage bins are full, and take the couple of minutes and take out the valuables that are in that bag.
So what's a weary traveler to do to brace your beloved bag for impact? First, buy a 4-wheeler.
When we load a plane that doesn't have the wheels, they'll throw it, kick it, toss it, and with 4 wheels, they can just roll the bag.
Next, find a bag as strong as a tank.
What is this made of?
This is the same material that NFL uses for their shoulder pads and F1 uses for their racing cars.
And as secure as Fort Knox.
Luggage that does not have zippers immediately gives people who steal luggage less options.
And believe it or not, never check in too early.
I'd say if you do it more than 2 hours early, they don't even have things set up for your flight yet.
Aaron Hurwitz realized that was his fatal error.
I've checked the bag ahead of time, and that's really where I run into trouble.
So he now leaves no time for his bag to get tossed and lost.
I think the real sweet spot to check your bag is anywhere between 45 minutes to 90 minutes before the flight.
And if you're really paranoid about keeping track of your bag, technology to the rescue. For $90, you can get a tracking device like TrackDock. I packed it in my bag on a recent trip to LA, and just after landing, ta-da, I got an alert on my phone. My suitcase was in LA too. Ah, the joys of reuniting with your bag.
Next, lights, cameras, bed bugs.
A lot of theaters have problems. I don't want to say that. I won't say it.
Come on. From 10,000% markups to heavy-duty makeouts. Confess the worst thing you've done at a movie. Tweet us at #ABC2020. True Confessions continues. Here's Nick Watt.
You're packed inside a big dark room with a couple of hundred total strangers. What's that smell? What's that guy doing? What's that on my foot? Is that legal? That can't be clean. We are on a journey, swabbing theatres across the land and grilling the experts.
There's nothing more crazy than owning a movie theater.
To bring you the truth.
There's no law that says they have to clean these seats.
Yeah, that's disturbing.
What goes on inside the movie theater once the lights are down?
Well, you could tell by what goes on inside the movie theater with what you find after the movie.
Okay, go on.
Used condoms.
Really?
You got a romantic comedy, it's like the Mile High Club, and it's going to happen in your theater, trust me.
Have you ever caught somebody in the moment?
Yes, but if nobody complains, let them get away with it.
What I always complain about are the prices. $8 for a bucket of popcorn that costs, wait for it, maybe 8 cents to make. A 10,000% markup? Seriously?
Give me money, give me cash.
Daylight robbery? Well, not exactly.
I make money by selling concessions.
Because, and here's a little known fact, up to 70% of your ticket price goes to the studio and distributor, leaving the theatre owner with pocket change. Some theatres get paid to play those endless trailers you must endure before the main event.
This spring, this March. Where the money at?
But they all need to sell a lot of concessions just to stay afloat. And wait until you hear this.
You got to do little tricks to get them to buy concessions.
Okay, like?
Well, in my theater, I've got an exhaust pipe that runs from the popcorn machine into the actual auditorium. They're going to have to come out and buy some popcorn.
You used to pipe the smell of popcorn into the auditorium.
Oh, no, we still do pipe the smell of popcorn into the auditorium. Absolutely.
Sure, it smells good, but you don't have to eat everything in front of you. So says the fat guy.
And if we didn't all fall prey at the concession stand, our ticket price would skyrocket. It's a nacho cheesy, hot diggity doggy trade-off. And there is another problem with all that food.
I don't like to eat messy food in the dark, right? I mean, you spill something and then, oh God, you touch something and it's just suddenly you're wearing it, right? I don't want to be that guy.
Problem is, I am that guy. You're probably that guy. And so?
You know, a lot of theaters have problems. I don't want to say this. I won't say it.
Come on.
They have some little creatures running around your feet at night.
Roaches or rodents?
You've got to really make sure that you've got a good exterminator. That theater owners are going to kill me for this.
You go walking across and your feet stick to the floor, right? So who's going to wear sandals? God only knows what you're walking on.
Or what's walking on you. Bed bugs. Late last year, there were reports of itching at a theater in Wisconsin. And in 2010, the AMC Empire in Times Square closed temporarily while exterminators culled some little critters. Remember I said we took samples?
We're going to go in and try and swab the seats and the floor without anybody noticing.
We did this in a bunch of theaters in New York and Los Angeles, and we came back to Dr. Philip Tierno to analyze our results.
The seat and other areas of the theater are contaminated with the public that sat before you.
On theater seats, armrests, and even 3D glasses sealed in plastic, we found traces of all kinds of live organisms with big, scary names. Microscopic bugs that can cause things like food poisoning, boils, and sinusitis. In a Manhattan cinema, we detected bacteria usually found in cattle and soil. Don't ask me. On seats in both LA and New York, we found bacteria common in human feces. More understandable, just as gross.
Are there government laws as to how often you have to clean these chairs?
No, unfortunately. There should be. Some theaters don't. I've been in theaters that they don't clean up.
Okay, Doc, so help us out. How do we not get that stuff in our mouths?
If you're going to hit the armrest, keep your hand in the air so that you can go to the dirty hand, this one that can touch anything, including the outside of the popcorn box, and then you eat your popcorn with your good hand. Always have a good hand and a bad hand.
Micrococcus luteus on the armrest? You know what? That's almost forgivable. This is not.
People who are texting while you're trying to watch the movie, you might as well bring a flashlight and shine it over your shoulder at the people behind you.
The Alamo Drafthouse chain, which has a zero-tolerance cell phone policy, recently banned Madonna from all their theaters for allegedly texting during 12 Years a Slave.
Until Madonna apologizes, she is not welcome at the Alamo Drafthouse.
Yeah, I was wondering if you guys...
Listen to this voicemail left by another patron kicked out for a similar crime.
I didn't know that wasn't supposed to text in your little crappy-ass theater.
Seems like she maybe had a little bit too much to drink and gave us a piece of her mind. And it was very charming in its own way.
You know what?
The chain used this as a public service announcement before R-rated movies.
Okay, so excuse me for using my phone in USA, United States of America.
They got to go, and I've had that happen many times.
Robert Buxbaum, who, remember, will never break up a courting couple, will kick you out for cell phone use. You've got a stricter policy on cell phone use than you have on having sex in the theater.
Absolutely. You know, if you're not bothering another customer, you get away with as much as you want in a movie theater.
And that's why, when all's said and done, going to the movies is the most fun you can have with your clothes on. Or off, perhaps, if you're those kind of people.
Tougher rules on your cell phones than on your clothes. Let us know what you think. We're on Twitter right now. Use the hashtag ABC2020. When we come back here tonight, who hasn't had a moving nightmare? 2020, chasing down the movers, getting answers. You've got to see this.
Next, we're on the move with movers. From delivery delays
Could be days, could be gone.
to those way off weight estimates.
I've actually seen moves come in close to 10 grand more than what they were estimated.
Getting to the bottom of Handle with Care.
They've been slamming doors on us all day.
When we return. "2020 continues with Matt Gutman.
Tonight, 2020 viewers are sharing their horror stories about moving. Isha complains,
they gave a quote in the beginning, jacked it up $1,800 at the end.
Tara says,
I waited 65 days from date promised. Lived in empty house 65 days.
those furious complaints of rip-offs, of horrible service, of stress to the max, were just another day in the office for this guy.
How often would customers call you and complain?
That was a daily occurrence.
Jason Raffa spent nearly 5 years as a customer service agent in the moving industry. He confesses the process can be a minefield of potential rip-offs, especially if you hire a low-cost mover through a broker.
So tell me the types of scams that you've seen.
The most part of the scamming is from the price inflation, from weight, packing.
Rafa says, watch out. Your initial estimate can turn out to be a lowball number that gets pumped up once the company has your stuff.
But I've actually seen moves come in close to 10 grand more than what they were estimated.
This is the kind of scam that goes on all across the country.
Unfortunately, yes, sir. J.J. Stroh of the Arizona Department of Weights and Measures alerted us to the case of 81-year-old Kathleen Kennedy, who claims she got scammed when she moved from Burbank, California to Mesa, Arizona. Stroh says rogue movers hiked the price of her recent move not once, not twice, but 3 times, demanding an additional $1,400 for extras like fuel, packing, redelivery, and storage.
And so the price can go from $775 to $2,600.
Yes, sir, and that's what we see quite often. And Stroh says ever since the client refused to pay that jacked up price, the company has kept her stuff.
So what does she have with her?
Basically nothing. It's stories like that which have Felicia Carl of Guttenberg, New Jersey, sweating bullets about her upcoming move to Houston, Texas. So what are the nightmare scenarios you've heard about?
You know, number one, delayed. Number two, the driver's like, I only want cash. Well, and then the amount goes from $36.80 to something different.
And Rafa says that's not all she should be worrying about.
You never know who's going to walk through that front door.
Take Andy T. Bueno, a mover with prior convictions for assault and criminal trespass and a recent bust in Texas for shaking down clients.
Believe it or not, I've actually heard boxes being unpacked.
Taking out valuables?
Taking out valuables, looking for jewelry, things like that.
Or how about taking a porn break? These New York movers, recorded on hidden camera, couldn't resist ogling a stash of smut they discovered under this couch. One by one, they all take their turn. In fairness, it's not a crime to look.
What's the worst thing you've ever heard movers do?
The worst thing has to do with the $10,000 Persian rug. And the mover got upset and did his thing on her rug, number 2 on her rug. And,
Number 2?
Number 2.
Do you know anything about the person who's driving your stuff to Texas?
I got his phone number, that's all I know.
2020 agreed to pay for Felicia's move. She heads off to Texas. A day later, she suddenly gets a call. Her mover says he's 5 days ahead of schedule. She scrambles and puts the pedal to the metal, driving from Tennessee to Texas more than 1,000 miles in less than 13 hours. Don't try this at home. The next morning,
amazingly, I should be receiving my furniture and stuff today. Very exciting.
That's when Felicia's luck runs out.
What kind of big problems? The well? What exploded?
Felicia's driver tells her his truck is broken down in Louisiana.
Is this gonna cost me anything else? Not good.
Her first fear has come true. Delay.
Well, there goes my peace of mind.
Felicia just doesn't need the aggravation. She's starting a new job in just 2 days and needs her stuff to arrive.
Could be anywhere, could be days, could be gone.
After 4 days sitting in Louisiana, the truck is on the move again. And the driver demands that Felicia be in Houston the following morning to meet him. But just before he's scheduled to arrive, there's another delay.
So basically what happened is it just died again? Or did you have another explosion?
The driver's truck has broken down again, and Felicia Carl is furious.
I've taken off this morning so I could get my furniture, and it's not here. It's just very frustrating.
Finally, 5 days and 10 hours after Felicia was first told to meet the truck,
he's on the move. My stuff's on the move.
The moving van pulls into Felicia's driveway. Despite all her worries, her mover does not hit her up for more money.
So what do you need from me?
Sure. Mover may show up, everything's perfect, and the cost that was estimated, but there's still sat inconvenience.
Those delays were a huge inconvenience, but on balance, Felicia may have been one of the lucky ones. In the meantime, Kathleen Kennedy's stuff is still being held hostage, and we headed to Los Angeles to find out why.
This lady's belongings were essentially hijacked, the feds say, for 2.5 months. We're just trying to figure out why that was. That's not what happened.
At first, no one wanted to talk to us here at this moving company.
Honestly, we were just trying to get your side of the story.
We were met with slammed doors.
Okay. This is Joe. Who's Joe?
We were then referred to the company's attorney.
You say they have nothing to hide, but they've been slamming doors on us all day. I hope it's true. Thank you.
The company denies any wrongdoing and claims Kathleen agreed to the higher price. But just 30 minutes later, the company assures us the moving truck is headed to Kathleen's new home in Mesa, Arizona, right away.
So they're in Mesa.
Sure enough, a moving truck magically appears just hours later at the destination, delivering Kathleen's stuff, charging only slightly more than the original estimate.
We have the actual inventory of what's on the truck.
JJ Stroh and his men are on the scene, and he wants to know how this simple west to east move wound up going south.
These are violations, and they're all warnings.
You guys ever had this happen?
No.
Stroh points us to this document, a revised and he says suspicious estimate with the inflated price.
So this is the one that we are discarding.
The original non-binding estimate was changed by the movers. That's illegal to be done under federal law.
You may be wondering, where's Kathleen in all of this? Unfortunately, she had a fall. She's recovering in the hospital, but the good news is when she does come home, her stuff will be here after 2.5 months. Feels good?
I think it does.
Based on ABC's phone call, Mrs. Kennedy now has all of her furniture here in her apartment, and life hopefully will get back to normal quickly.
And now your first look at an explosive 2020 1 week from tonight right here. Exclusive access with undercover agents as they track husbands trying to kill their wives, wives going after their husbands. But what happens when they've hired the wrong hitman?
Next Friday, you'll just never believe how many hitmen are being hired across America to kill husbands, wives, even hated co-workers. How do we know?
The sooner you could kill, the better.
Yes. Well, ride along shotgun with David Muir and the hitmen hired to pull the trigger. But get this, these assassins are really undercover agents disguised as killers.
So as you sit down with 2020, how many of you are in disguise?
And the people who hire them, well, they think they're getting what they paid for, dead spouses. But what they're really getting is busted. Next Friday, David Muir, Murder for Hire, an explosive all-new 2020 after Shark Tank on ABC.
It's really something. You won't believe what you're going to see. And have we mentioned it's all caught on tape 1 week from tonight. And that's our program for tonight. I'm David Muir.
And I'm Elizabeth Vargas. Thanks so much for watching. Have a great weekend and good night.